Hello and a warm welcome to the Tower of London for this thought for the day. I'm actually recording it on Monday the 30th of November, the feast day of St Andrew, ready to go out tomorrow, the 1st of December. I'm doing that because I thought I might spend a bit of time thinking with you about who St Andrew is. And of course that will lead on to the question of what's the connection between witches and St Andrew. Well, first of all, let's think seriously about St Andrew. Andrew was a fisherman and a Galilean, and one of the first disciples to be called by Jesus. Andrew, in turn, called his brother, Simon Peter, to become one of the first disciples as well. Andrew is mentioned in all four Gospels, and it's very clear that Andrew travelled with him and was with him throughout his ministry from the beginning right to the end. After Jesus' death, resurrection, and Pentecost, like many other disciples, Andrew went out to spread the word. We might call him a real missionary now. The story goes that he ended up in northern Greece, and particularly at a place called Patras, where he was eventually martyred. And in fact, he was crucified. Now, Andrew made it clear that he didn't want to be crucified in the same way as Christ on a cross that shape, but in fact insisted on being crucified on a cross that shape, what we would call a saltire cross. Now after that, the story gets a bit patchy, but what we do know is that his bones ended up in Constantinople. At least most of his bones ended up there, but his head ended up in Rome. Goodness knows why they kept chopping all these bones and bits and pieces up, but never mind, we'll not go down that road today. Popes of the day, and I mean by that popes of many generations, as they sent people out on missionary journeys, decided always to send them out with a small relic because they thought there would be real respect for the relic, real honour to that particular relic. I've often wondered, for example, when St Augustine first came to England many years before, in about the 3rd century, that I wonder what sort of relic he might have brought with him. Well, in the 8th century, the Pope sent a missionary group to Scotland, carrying a small relic of St Andrew. In time, a church was built. In time, a community established itself around that church, and that area became known as St Andrews, the St Andrews that we think of today. Now, of course, St Andrews today is the university town where the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge studied. I had the great honour of preaching at St Andrews some years ago. There was also a wonderful monastery built there, and it had been around for hundreds of years, I mean literally hundreds of years, by the time that Henry VIII came along and disestablished all the monasteries, which I'm rather sad about. But today there are wonderful ruins, and on this, the 30th of November, they still hold a short service there to mark St Andrew's Day and his place in the community. I could also mention the golf course, but I won't mention that at all. So let's have a bit of a thought. What can we think about? Well, there are a number of things. First of all, we could pray for the people of Scotland. Simple as that. Secondly, we could pray for all the churches in Scotland, from the wee free churches out in the Isles of the Outer Hebrides to the Episcopal Church, the Roman Catholic Church, and of course the established Church of Scotland, the Church of Scotland. Let us pray for the churches of Scotland. We could also, if you like, pray for all those who hold the name Andrew. Maybe you have family or friends or others who are named after Andrew. You could pray for them as well. Well, I asked or wondered what the connection was between witches and St Andrew, so let me finish with that. Many houses in the north, the border areas of England and on the borders of Scotland have saltire crosses on their fireplaces. People have always associated this as just being a reverence, if you like, to St Andrew, but it had more than that meaning to it. In medieval times, they put that saltire cross on them because they hoped it would stop witches from coming down the chimney. Well, I hope it won't stop Father Christmas from coming down the chimney for you. In all seriousness, as we finish, pray for the people of Scotland. Pray for the Church of Scotland. Pray for all those who carry the name of Andrew. and let us thank God for Scotland, which is part of our United Kingdom. May God bless you on this feast of St. Andrew.